Oh, baby. In just a few short hours, the 2022 NFL season kicks off. And not a moment too soon. The NFL is back. The matchup tonight, delicious. Rams, Bills, SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, California. Let's go. And both of these teams are going to be excellent with Super Bowl aspirations again this year. And I think this is going to be, at the end of the day, a classic game. I think the NFL really slammed it out of the park, going with two powerhouse teams. The Super Bowl favorite, the Buffalo Bills, taking on the Super Bowl champ in Los Angeles. And truth be told, at the end of the day, the Matthew Stafford elbow injury scares me for tonight. It really does. The Rams are going to be excellent. Stafford, superb. Cooper Kupp, superb. Aaron Donald, superb. Bobby Wagner, first ballot Hall of Famer. You can color me obsessed with the acquisition of Allen Robinson, what he's going to mean with Cooper Kupp, with Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay returns, major coaching advantage for the LA Rams tonight. Aaron Donald teamed with Jalen Ramsey. I mean, we're talking about stars galore when you look at it from the standpoint of the LA Rams. But tonight, it's Josh Allen's time to shine. The Buffalo Bills are going to make a huge statement that they are going to beat the champs. Josh Allen, best quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen's going to have a monster game. Josh Allen's going to have a monster season. Not worried at all that Brian Daboll is no longer the offensive coordinator, now coaching the Giants. Ken Dorsey takes over. He's going to be fantastic. I mean, the Josh Allen greatness nuggets, off the charts. And I think this is going to be one of those special nights for Josh Allen where he has 4 total touchdowns. He's throwing the ball all over the place, running the ball. And this guy changes everything. Former Ram, now Bill, Von Miller. Let me tell you something. He knows how to win a Super Bowl. Did it last year for LA. Did it when he was a member of the Denver Broncos. Von Miller knows how to navigate the choppy waters of an NFL season and then the postseason. By the way, also helps out the Bills defense in terms of the pass rush. Buffalo, listen, every Bills fan, Bills Mafia, it's been a long offseason, right? 13 seconds away from beating Kansas City, and we all know what transpired. Every Bills player, every Bills fan, everyone's been waiting for tonight. Tonight is the start of a Super Bowl run. Tonight is the start of something special. The Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Rams. Final score, 31-24. Patrick Mahomes doesn't care about your fantasy football team. I love it. Mahomes knows the limitations of this offense, and listen, we've spent the whole offseason talking about it. Losing Tyreek Hill, greatest home run hitter, deep threat in the NFL, that's a serious blow. And truth be told, I don't think Kansas City is going to be as great this year. But when you have Patrick Mahomes, the impossible becomes possible. Also, he makes the possible possible. I mean, I look at the offensive pieces, and other than the great Travis Kelce, I mean, if this was any other team, right, we would be talking about an 8-win team, a 9-win team that can't run the ball consistently. Juju's more interested in TikTok and dancing on logos than playing football. But listen, this is Patrick Mahomes, his world. We're just living in it. And what he does in September, it's absolutely next level. So this is going to be a signature game coming up this week on the NFL on CBS with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson on the call with the Cardinals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid changes everything. This is a coach and a quarterback league. And even though this team, at the end of the day, has issues on defense, Honey Badger's not walking through that door anymore, and I'm sure Kyler Murray, if he's actually studying film, he has to be laughing looking at the Kansas City Chiefs and their personnel on defense. But Patrick Mahomes hears all the critique, all the criticism. He's going to have a Michael Jordan-esque season, a Michael Jordan first game on CBS this weekend. And he took that personally when he hears people like me say, the weapons are not the same, the Chiefs are not the same. But you still have Mahomes, you still have Reed, and this is going to be a dynamic show starting on Sunday on the NFL on CBS. Baker Mayfield can downplay the matchup with the Cleveland Browns all he wants, but this one just means more. And I'm telling you right here, right now, and I said it the second this trade was made, there is no chance Baker Mayfield is losing the Baker Mayfield revenge game. He can sit here and spin it. It's just any other game, but this was the number one overall pick by the Cleveland Browns in 2018. And remember when Chris Mortensen reported in the offseason that the Browns wanted an adult in the quarterback room, and then they go make the trade for Deshaun Watson? Yeah. And look, I was of the opinion Mayfield needed to go. We said that even before Watson was even on the radar. Said that after the Monday night game after Week 17 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Mayfield's healthy now. He's got big-time weapons in Carolina. I love the talent at wide receiver, the depth and diversity at the wide receiver position. A lot of receivers who do a lot of different things. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute stud. He's healthy. And let me tell you something. This Carolina defense is going to be great this year. J.C. Horn coming back is a big deal. And how's this? They get to go up against Jacoby Brissett, who takes over for Baker Mayfield. So it's wild, it's wacky. I'm sure that Myles Garrett is going to want a piece of Baker Mayfield like no other. But Mayfield, to me, has always been at his best when he's had that walk-on chip on his shoulder. And listen, nobody wanted him. Cleveland didn't want him years after he was that aforementioned number one pick. Could you imagine telling a Browns fan after 2018, 2019 that Mayfield would be an ex-Brown and he would get traded for basically nothing 2 years after the 2019 season? Listen, Mayfield is going to sizzle. Mayfield's going to shine. I think Carolina could be a sleeper team this year. This game means the world to Baker Mayfield, and everyone in Cleveland should be on notice. Needless to say, Matt Ryan is everything that the Indianapolis Colts were missing last season. Right guy, right time. Indianapolis is going to win the division. We locked in our picks for the season on yesterday's sizzling edition of Time to Shine. Going to win 11 games minimum. And I think the Colts are a legit Super Bowl contender. I mean, the AFC is loaded. And I think Indianapolis, with a new quarterback who has a lot of gas left in the tank, Matt Ryan, what you see on the screen right here, Hall of Fame numbers. Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer, and he raises the level of play for everyone. Did that forever in Atlanta. All the receivers have talked about that. Michael Pittman's going to have a career year, and this guy is unbelievable. And Ryan told me on my SiriusXM radio show, Taylor, he knew he was great. He's even better than he thought in terms of his attitude, his pass protection, his balance, his power, his speed. Offensive line's terrific. Defense is excellent. And I think Indianapolis is going to make an unbelievable statement taking on the Houston Texans on CBS week 1 of the season. Because in the past, you might have Indianapolis kind of sleepwalk through a season opener. I mean, you have to go back almost a decade to the last time the Indianapolis Colts win in week number 1. I mean, they've lost to Jacksonville before and awful Jaguars teams in week number 1. It's a new day, it's a new era, and Matt Ryan is going to lead the Indianapolis Colts to their first division title with Chris Ballard as the general manager. And I'm here to tell you, don't be surprised when Matt Ryan wins a playoff game or 2. Just to say, you can use that fuel all you want, Ryan, but it's going to be a long season for Tannehill and the Titans. And I don't take any joy or jubilation in saying that. I love Mike Vrabel. I love Derrick Henry. I think Vrabel is a fabulous coach. I think Derrick Henry is going to be the best running back in the NFL again. The problem is Ryan Tannehill in big spots gives you this. And this isn't good enough. And that playoff loss to Cincy still stings, still haunts Tennessee. They thought they were a Super Bowl team. They were the 1 seed last year. You almost got to jog them at the Rolodex to remember that. And the problem is A.J. Brown's not walking through that door. And A.J. Brown is a legit number one receiver. And these weapons at wideout, and I love Bob Woods, and Burks is a really talented young ball player, but there's nobody who you can bank on as a legit number one wideout and or someone like Brown who could save Ryan Tannehill from himself. Then there's this. Harold Landry, out for the season. Look at the sack number. That's kind of a big deal. Tackles for loss, quarterback hits. I know that defense is excellent and Vrabel's a great coach, but that's a killer. I think Tennessee has no chance in the loaded AFC to make the playoffs this year, and so much stems because they don't have a big-time quarterback. Trey Lance, he's learned how to dance before becoming a team captain, but let me tell you something. This is a big deal. And this is proof to my point that you're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo sooner rather than later. And, you know, for the sake of fairness, right, if you had to guess who would be named captain for the San Francisco 49ers, these guys, veterans, great players, they would have been the easy first guesses. But, you know, you can't be voted a captain if they're bringing Jimmy Garoppolo back from the dead, and Trey Lance has a completion percentage that's under 60%. So at the end of the day, you look at these pieces, and Debo's special. Ayuk, I think, is going to have a monster year. Best left tackle in the NFL. Kittle's a freak. Best defense, in my opinion, this year in the National Football League. And Jimmy G is going to play sooner than later. And clearly, the Niners, by this vote, they believe that too. You know, people say, oh, Jimmy G in December, Jimmy G in week 8. Look, I'm not ruling out Jimmy Garoppolo in the second half of the Chicago game. If Kyle Shanahan is going to bring Jimmy back after locking him out from training camp, bring him back on the team, if the offense is stuck in the mud and it's a quagmire and Trey Lance can't complete the forward pass, they'll come out of the locker room in the second half with Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going to win games. So I think this is a Super Bowl caliber team 2 through 53. They just don't have the franchise quarterback, even though they traded all the way up for Lance, gave all those picks in the draft in 2021. So yeah, no surprise he's not the team captain. It is not Trey Lance's time to shine. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.